Hello, everybody, and welcome back to K-12. I'm Sayuri Mojica, and this is the show where every episode we have a student from a different grade, K-12, and today we have 8th grader Brandon Hiduchik. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is Brandon, and we're going to be getting to know him today.
Yeah.
So, first of all, are you excited to be here today? Have you done anything
I'm
like
not.
this?
No, I'm not excited to be. Yeah, I am excited to be here. I've done a small podcast with my friends, but that's the most of it. Wasn't very as well put up as all of this,
I know.
all the fancy equipment and cameras.
Yeah,
We had a Discord call, and that was it.
Whoa. Okay. It was pretty fun. So, as an 8th grader, you are king of middle school.
Yes, I am the king of middle school.
It's almost over, though. So how do you feel?
I guess kind of excited because I get to try more things because it's just like we're limited to so much. But in like once we get to high school and everything, there's kind of like a big, wider opportunity of what you can do and what you want to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I feel like there's a lot more options. Just going to high school, like electives, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what was the best moment of your 3 years of middle school?
My 3 years of middle school, best moment? Good question. I think the field trips. I think the field trips got to be the best thing. Everything else can. It's a little stinky, but.
What kind of field trips have you gone on?
Six Flags, Canopy Lake, movie theaters once. I think Six Flags was probably the best one though.
You went to Six Flags?
Yeah, for bands. Was it band? Yeah, it was band. So basically, when we go to the Grady's Festival, they give us tickets to go to Canopy Lake or after, or like we get, I don't know. But they didn't do that last year. So instead of going to Canopy Lake, we went to Six Flags.
That's so cool.
I know.
Were you guys bused there or what?
We were bused, but like it wasn't like school buses, it was like those fancy buses, and one of them broke down on the side of the highway.
Oh.
So no, I think no, they didn't break down. Someone crashed into it, or the bus crashed into someone. So they didn't come home until like really late.
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely something for the first Six Flags experience.
Oh, well, okay. Anyway, you mentioned band, so that's actually a great segue. So, how long have you been doing band?
Been doing band since 4th grade, I think. So I've been playing flute for a lot of years. I'm not doing the math.
4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
Okay, and what else?
Trying to think since I lived in Saugus before, I think going to Beverly, I can actually learn more about music and whatever, because I think I'm able to improve myself more, because the other band teacher, he was just like, yep, if I heard the recordings before, I'd realize we were not the best sounding band, but you know.
I can confirm. That was something.
Yeah.
So what other instruments do you play?
Guitar. I played piano for a couple of years, but I haven't been doing that. So I've mostly been doing guitar now, which is fun. I think learning how to play it professionally is definitely going to be harder because you got to learn the whole fretboard, chord structures, and all of that, and yada yada.
Yeah. And you're in jazz band, right? So do you plan to continue jazz band in high school?
100%. I'm joining.
Yeah.
I already got accepted into that. I did the auditions. Luckily, Mr. Costa gave me a 2-week extension. Yeah, so
he's the guy.
I was very blessed that I was gonna be the only guitarist. Otherwise, if there was another guitarist, I don't think he would have given me that opportunity. So I sent a message and was like, "Hey, I can't play this part." He was like, "Yep, you got till whatever." It was like the end of the week or whatever. And I said, "All right." I got it before that, luckily. So, because I was going to Disney after that, so I was gonna lose all of that progress.
Yeah.
I think he definitely did put me through something. I don't want to play 180 ever again, because that was so painful. But I got through it.
Yeah, you did. You did. And jazz band is waiting for you.
Yeah.
High school jazz band. I've seen some of the productions, like not productions specifically, but the band, like the high school band, played all the music for Pippin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they had their little pit, and they sound awesome. They sound amazing, and everyone in band is so cool. So it'll be great to be part of that. I think band is so incredible, and I never had the chance to do band because they didn't have it at my old school. They didn't have it at my old school, and I joined here junior year. So
you're kind of a little too late to join.
I was a little too late. I probably could have if I really tried, but
You know, it is what it is.
I'm not gonna pick up an instrument at 17.
Yeah, and especially since like you're gonna be here, like you were only here for like a year, so this year and then like half of last year, so it's not really worth it to pick up an instrument that you're probably not even gonna pursue.
I'm not gonna pursue music.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Anyway, so what else are you involved in other than band?
Boy Scouts. That's one thing. Project 351. So
I want to hear about that in a little bit.
All right. I'm on the middle school track team, so
awesome.
Definitely gotta improve more, but you know, we're getting there.
Yeah, you also just joined.
Yeah.
So you can also do track.
First sport I've done.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's awesome. You can also do track throughout high school. They have winter track and spring track.
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
there you go. Winter track is indoors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm 100% doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They have so many sports here. They have sailing.
Really? They have sailing?
They have sailing. There's actually a sailing, I forgot what, regatta. There's a sailing regatta happening right now. That's what they call it.
So like when competitions? It's like competition. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so that's cool. So what kind of classes do you have this year, like being in 8th grade? And what does your schedule look like?
So so kind of depends. We'll either start with advisory or all that stuff. So Tuesdays and Thursdays we have advisory for like 45 minutes. So it's kind of, we just catch up on schoolwork, and every other day it's like straight into classes, academic classes. If you don't choose either chorus, strings, or band, which are year-long kind of, we call global apps, which would be your, what is it called again? Elective. So our global apps are your guys' electives. So if you don't choose band, chorus, or strings, you get 2 kind of like different trimesters. You would get 2 different ones. So since I do band, I get band every year, and then I get 3 different global apps for the rest of them. So I did gym and wellness, physical education and wellness, art, and now I'm doing science and math and technology. So it's basically just STEM class, but it's more kind of like physical work. So we get to like use cardboard to make things.
Oh, fun.
Balsa wood and kind of like
fancier. And you have like math every day, English every day.
Science. So we have like a waterfall schedule, so we'll have...
I love waterfall schedules.
So one day we won't have one class. So today I didn't have civics. Tomorrow I won't have math, but also I'm doing MCAS tomorrow, so I won't really have...
Oh, you have MCAS tomorrow. Science MCAS?
Math. I'm happy that, because I was told we had 3 science and then 3 science, 1 civics. We have 2 science and 1 civics, so...
You have a civics MCAS?
I know it's I don't know.
I never took a civics. Well, I was also COVID in 8th grade.
Oh, that's true.
So I didn't have to take MCAS that year. But you have to take science. You actually have to take all 3 in 10th grade. You need to pass those to graduate. Yeah, it never ends. And then after that, you have SATs. So, and then after that, you have the AccuPlacer. Anyway. So you mentioned Project 351. What is that?
So basically, 1 to 2 kids from every town will get chosen to go kind of participate in volunteering, I guess. So for one of the things, we had to do a spring service project. So for that, we did a clothing drive.
Yes.
And then I think it's one for every season. There's different things. And then they'll kind of give us information, I think once a month or something, about like something that we can go to. I think the last one, it was a trash pickup or something. I didn't go to that because I was a little busy, so I couldn't really fit it in with everything because I was just finishing the spring service project, and then I also had to like do track and everything. So I was just starting that, so I kind of wanted to focus more on all of that stuff. So there's something else that I have to sign up. I'm going to go right when I get home. I'm going to sign up for that because I just got information about that thing. So it's kind of giving kids an opportunity to do more in their community.
Yeah, which is great.
So I think being able to kind of participate in that definitely gives me an opportunity to help others.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about. Is it called 351 because there's 351 kids?
So yeah, 351 towns in Massachusetts. So
Makes sense.
That's what that was from.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think it's 351 or something like that. I don't know.
351.
It's 350. I just call it Project 351, but I think it's 351 or whatever because it's actually.
What does 351 mean?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hold up, I'm trying to think because at the end of it, it just says. No, I think it's 351. Never mind. I think I'm going insane.
Okay. So did you even know that was a thing before you were
Nope.
picked for it? Is it like a big deal?
It's kind of a big deal. Definitely in schools they take it. It's like definitely like big accomplishment that you can get. So
you're representing all of Beverly.
Yeah.
Which is so awesome.
Mhm.
Like you are the voice of youth.
The voice
For
of Beverly.
Like overall, which is so cool. I think it's awesome. So like, do people like do your peers care about it? Like when you said, "Hey, like I'm a ambassador for 351," like were they like, "Oh my god, that's so cool"?
They weren't like, "Whoa!" Like it's like a groundbreaking discovery, but like they were definitely like, "Oh, good job. That's definitely something that's kind of like an honor to get." So
I think it's an honor. Yeah. So that's very cool. So how often do you guys meet and like? It's for the whole year, right?
It's for the whole year until I think next summer. That's when I'm done with it or something. So we meet twice out of the whole entire thing. It's the beginning and then
like in person.
In person, and then at the end. That's like the kind of like the last time we're ever meeting. But we do our own individual things in our own towns.
Like the clothing drive.
Yeah, like the clothing drive. So. I think we can work with other people in other towns if we want to, but it's mostly kind of just like independent work and trying to do
really cool.
things for your town and all of that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, sounds like a really cool thing, and I feel like not a lot of like adults, well, not adults, but people that I talk to that are adults that work at the high school or something, they're not really aware of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a thing here.
Yeah,
but
it's 8th grade specifically that will actually do it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's awesome. So, do you know what career field you want to go into?
I don't know exactly, but something that's been interesting me a lot is astrophysics, which is kind of like the study of space and all of that. So kind of like working with like black holes, like stars, other planets, and all of that stuff. Definitely want to study more about that, especially since there's like so much out there that we don't really know.
Yeah.
Especially like with black holes and like all of that, it's like confusing. So.
Well, Beverly High offers a lot of science classes.
Thank God.
AP Physics is calling your name.
I know it's
AP
calling.
Chem
I can
is
hear
calling
it.
your
I
name.
can hear it in my ears.
Yeah, but there's a lot of classes here. Even like electives that are kind of science. You can take engineering.
I know there's a club, astrophysics. Well, it's astronomy and astrophysics.
There's an astronomy club?
There's astronomy. Yeah, I was looking on the site
gosh.
last week, and there was like astronomy. Like,
that's awesome.
Gotta go there.
Yeah, there's a lot of clubs here. I was in philosophy club. That was pretty fun. Pretty cool people.
What did you do there?
We talked about like a bunch of stuff. We would meet on Monday mornings, so great way to start off the week. But we would just talk about, what do you think happens when you die? What do you think we talked a lot about ethics.
So it's kind of like theoretical kind of like
yeah, like
things.
all like hyper I don't know what I'm saying, but all potential things
that could happen.
Stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. That was the only club I was really active in, but that was cool. There's a lot of clubs.
I was talking to one of my friends a couple days ago, and it was like, if I know I'm gonna die, I want to be sent into a black hole. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I would do that too, because I mean, like, kind of knowing what happens while you're in a black hole, what other people can't know.
Don't you get stretched like spaghetti?
Yeah, you get so. I think I remember looking at it, it's basically the black holes pulling on your feet, so you kind of just like stretch out so much.
That's insane. Oh, I read somewhere. This is like so off topic. I read somewhere that you get stretched, so each individual molecule in your body is like in a string, and that's what they mean by spaghetti. That's how thin it is. It's so sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Fact check it, but yeah. Okay, moving on. So COVID. I mentioned earlier, I had COVID my 8th grade to my freshman year, which is an awful time.
Yeah.
It was an awful time.
It was terrible.
Yeah, but how old were you? What grade were you in? And how do you think that affected you?
I think I was in 5th grade,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was kind of the end of 4th, starting of 5th. I think it definitely affected my academic ability a lot because I was like looking at my grades and had like C's.
You are not a C student.
I know, I had C's. I was like super low. I was like getting 60s on like tests or whatever. And now I'm like getting A's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. How do you think that? Do you think that's something that you carried with you to today, or do you think you were able to bounce back?
I think I think if I were still in school, I would have been able to probably academically be better than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely did affect me in the future, but I think I was able to bounce back and get into like a stable kind of like, okay, this is good enough.
Yeah, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in my situation, since it was literally all of my not all of mine, but majority of my freshman year. Freshman year is like what you build your GPA on.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to take any honors classes, which is something that I relied on to boost my GPA for the rest of high school. But it was not a good start.
I think for high schoolers, it definitely affected them more and their future because of it. So.
Yeah, GPA is so important.
Yeah.
The second you walk into school, work on your GPA.
All right.
Oh my gosh, it's so important. And freshman and sophomore year, definitely do a lot of the heavyweight lifting for that, because if you have a 3.0 leaving your sophomore year, that's like you're set up for success.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? So, the big debate in Beverly. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Essex Tech versus BHS.
Essex
what
Tech.
are your thoughts?
Okay, so I think it depends more on what you want to do as like your future, because I think Essex Tech, it's kind of like, I know what I want to do. I want to go to this school for that specifically because it prepares you for the workforce. If there's like something people are certain they know they're interested in that Essex Tech offers, I think it's probably best to go there. But if you're kind of not certain on what you want to do, of course you can still go to Essex Tech, and if you don't want, you can always go to BHS. But I think if people are very interested in music, obviously BHS, it has like a wide variety of like arts and all of that.
The arts here carry the school.
Yeah.
Like, they have National Art Honor Society, which I didn't even know was a thing.
That's a thing?
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Yes, and they get a rainbow tassel.
That's cool.
I know. So that's very cool. And I feel like, based on what you've told me, the music here was definitely your selling point.
Yeah, it's because, but at Essex Tech, they kind of have like music club, but it's kind of less of.
It's not as intense.
Yeah, it's not like I'm kind of like learning more about music, because I want to learn music theory, learn more about chord structures, how to make music, and at jazz band, it's kind of like you're learning music theory as you learn jazz, because you need to learn like what scales to use, what chords go in what keys, so you're kind of already learning that. And if I were to join Essex Tech and do like the music club, I don't think I would be able to learn as much as I would to join here.
Yeah. And I think that the whole music program is so awesome here.
Yeah.
Like, I like have so much respect for them and so much just like pride for them. They actually just went on a field trip to Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like a big thing. It was like the music and theater department, I think. And that just looked like a ton of fun.
Yeah, my friend's sister went to that trip.
Yeah.
So I definitely gonna be excited to go there.
Yeah,
and to do
I'm
all
excited
of that.
for you.
I know,
You're gonna
it's
get
gonna be so fun.
the whole like 4 years at BHS. It's awesome.
I think my friend's dad, he did music, and I think he played on the Capitol steps.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, but it sounds interesting. It sounds
does.
very cool.
Yes. What else? Oh, if you could give advice to a 6th grader or a 5th grader just entering middle school, what would you tell them?
It's a good question. I'd say focus on your studies. Don't worry about girls. That's
True.
not the most important thing in your life.
Very true. And if you could tell something to your 12th grade, if you could say something to your 12th grade self, what would you tell them? Like, imagine you're my age. You're about to graduate in a month. What are you saying to yourself?
Don't do anything stupid. No, I don't know.
Going to college?
No, going to college? I don't know. It's a good question. I definitely have to ponder that for a couple. I really don't know what I would say to myself.
What do you hope to accomplish your next 4 years in high school?
Make jazz music with one of my friends.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. I don't think I would have known how to answer that question when I was your age. I was so different. Like, you know how I was a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, I was very different. I wanted to be a forensic scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I was obsessed with, like, criminal justice, things like that. And I was set on wanting to go that way. I actually went to a vocational school. This isn't something I've mentioned before. I went to a vocational school, and at the end of my freshman year, I picked auto body as a shop.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. That's like so different from what you wanted to do.
It's so out of character for me.
So like criminal justice.
And then
I want to work with
body.
cars.
And now I want to be a teacher, and I'm going to school to be a teacher.
That's like you went like complete complete opposite way. So you went, I want to work with criminal justice.
I want to work with cars. I want to work with kids.
I want to work with kids. That's very different.
It's so different, and I feel like it's high school that made me really learn myself.
Yeah.
I really discovered myself during high school. You just changed so much.
Yeah.
Even 8th grade to 10th grade, 10th grade to 12th grade. I didn't know that I wanted to be a teacher until 11th grade.
A lot of character development throughout those years.
A lot of character development. You go through a lot in 4 years, and it's insane. I feel like it's some of the most developmental years of your life.
Yeah.
Even compared to middle school. Middle school was awful. High school is so much better than middle school.
Middle school.
I'm going to tell you now, you have a lot to look forward to.
Middle school, it's definitely a lot of drama.
For no reason. People are just angry.
I know. It's... I want to say... I was going to say something, but also, like...
Don't say anything that can't be aired.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, like, it's just, like, a bunch of, like, drama that, like, went on in my school that I'm like, you know, I don't think I should say this because people... If I say it, it's not going to go well.
Don't get canceled.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get canceled up in here.
Yeah, but people in middle school are very mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, people get nicer in high school. Well, not everybody.
Some people.
Some people. Most people.
Kind of mature and kind of get out of...
You mature and you realize that there's no reason that you should be so angry at the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great character development thing that has happened to me, especially the past few years.
I definitely see you go from a little angry to nicer to where you're driving me to Sonic to get what is it? Eclipse glasses
That's
that
a funny
weren't
story.
there.
So this is like a random tangent. Before the eclipse, we drove to Sonic because they said that they had this blackout drink with blackout eclipse glasses. We drove all the way to Sonic, which is not near here. Isn't it in like Peabody?
No, it's on...
it's on Route 1.
Yeah, Route 1. So it's kind of like...
They were all out. So...
And like the Sonic place, it was just like... I never knew you had to order outside.
I didn't either. I thought
you could go in and just order stuff, but I guess not.
Anyway.
Anyways.
What else can I talk about?
Kind of ran out of stuff on the piece of paper.
Oh, no. I actually forgot to ask you this earlier. Do you know what kind of classes you're going to be taking freshman year? If you don't know, that's okay.
100% jazz band, and I think I have to...
Is that a class?
It's...
That is a class. Doesn't that happen during the day?
Yeah, it happens during the day. Awesome. So I'm really excited to do that. So jazz band, I think I have to do band anyways. And then do I have to take a 2.5?
I'm pretty sure you get to take an elective. I know you have to take college and career readiness. You have to take English, math, science. That's 4. You have 8 blocks. Jazz band, that's 5. I have no idea.
So I know. So to be able to do jazz band, I have to do band. So jazz band and band. And then
they'll probably be.
I think
Panther and Pride.
World mythology.
Whoa.
So
I heard that was a fun class.
Yeah, I know. I've heard
that was fun.
A lot of people that I know were gonna do that, and also like for a small period of time, I was interested in kind of like Greek gods and all of that, but I never knew how to learn about them. So I asked my dad, I was like, hey, can you get me this book? Giant book with like so much reading. As I said, I looked at it and I read the first page and I was done.
Do you still have it?
I still have it, but it was so hard for me to kind of wrap my head about what I was reading because it was just so much information. And I was like, I think taking the world mythology class is definitely going to give me a bigger, easier understanding of world mythology.
Maybe you can get back into it after you have like the intro from the world mythology class. Yeah, that'll be cool. I didn't even know you had a book like that.
It's somewhere in the bookshelf. If you look at it, you could probably look through it and find it's this big.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? So, just a couple of random questions now. What would you say your favorite band or music artist is?
Wes Montgomery.
Wes Montgomery.
I love that man with a passion in his music, because he definitely made like. It's definitely like a. Trying to think. Definitely a type of music that I haven't really heard too much, because like it's so he played guitar, so it's more guitar focused, but I don't really see many artists who have guitar focused songs. It's mostly trumpet, saxophone, mostly those two. Those are like the main two instruments. And the guitar is usually used for chords and everything, but what he does is he takes chords but also adds melody onto it too, so it's definitely something that I haven't heard in any type of jazz music that I actually listened to. It was mostly just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the guitar is just like in the background, so you never really hear it and focus on it, and they're just playing chords and aren't really playing too much of melody. But Wes Montgomery, he does chords and melody, kind of just like adds something different into it. So
You love music.
I love music. That's why I chose BHS. So.
Yeah, it's really cool to see you get to talk so passionately about music and jazz and chords and things that I have no idea.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it's very cool that you found your passion so early in life. And it's really just like...
working on a song.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it off of kind of Wes Montgomery and all of that. So
good for you.
It's definitely hard because there's so much you can use. And because I don't want to repeat everything so much. I don't want to repeat the same chords over and over again. So I had to resort to like triads and like kind of looking at scales or whatever and taking all of that. So
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, triads. So basically, I'm gonna do a little quick thing. So basically, you take the first note of the scale, second note of the scale. First note, third note, and fifth note, I think, and that's a triad.
You should have a podcast.
I should.
On music.
I think I should.
I think you should too. You can invite your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
I know I'm very busy.
You are. To come meet with me today. You can watch this podcast on Wednesdays. At 8 o'clock.
Whoa, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. I'm opening up my YouTube.
And on channel 22. And you can also find it on the BevCam education channel. So thank you for coming today.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Of being here.
Yay!
Yay.